We earn money, save money and buy things. Living beyond the economic cycle is impossible. What trends are dictated by world markets and how does it affect consumers? Watch it in People and Economy.
During the year, the number of customers in fast food restaurants has increased all over the world. For example, in Canada, Australia and Ireland, this figure raised by more than 10%. Eating sandwiches on the run is becoming more traditional than common dinners. In the US, more than one-third of restaurants' revenues depend on fast food, compared with one-fifth in Brazil, more than 10% in India, and almost one-quarter in China. Over the last years, customers more frequently ask the staff for most fast-cooking food. The accelerating pace of life makes people to manage their time more carefully. Nowadays, serving meals within 30 to 40 minutes is considered a bad manner. Few people think how a common hamburger falls in our hands. The combination of a bun, cutlet, vegetables and sauces seems very simple. However, in fact, fast food restaurants work under the auspices of major organizations and production shops with an immense turnout. Bun is the basis of all burgers and sandwiches. Thus, only one bakehouse in Moscow region produces more than 2 million buns per day. And there are thousands of bakeries like this around the world. They deliver all necessary primary products to fast food chains and at the same time provide with jobs hundreds of thousands of people. All the suppliers of primary products as well as bakeries create workplaces. For example, one workplace here guarantees 2 vacancies at our suppliers. The jobs can be related to services as well as with the production of flour, sugar, salt and all other ingredients. 160,000 cutlets per hour. This is the production capacity of a common meat processing plant, which delivers its products to some fast food chains. Within 1 year, such a plant is capable of producing 37,000 tons of cutlets for hamburgers, and its revenue can reach 1.5 billion euros. But before to be served, the food passes more than 500 compliance tests in accordance with all the world standards. Lettuce, cucumbers, tomatoes and onion. One cannot even imagine a hamburger without these ingredients. Preparing a daily supply of burgers in large cities requires more than 76 tons of vegetable products. The agronomic service and supplies control department monitors supplies from the moment of planting to the moment of picking of vegetables. They control each step, the quality of fields, seed planting and the entire vegetation period. They can also influence any of these processes, including planting periods and fertilizers used by the supplier. A timely delivery of ingredients and high quality of their transportation are the main factors, which influence on burgers' freshness and flavor. Therefore, a well-thought-out supply logistics with the application of innovations is a key element of public catering restaurants. Now we spend less money on transportation. For example, we need to supply food products to the restaurant A located within 200 kilometers, but we don't know the best way how to do that. After certain calculations, we find out how we can, for example, avoid traffic jams and other obstacles. As a result, we spend less time on transportation, which has a positive effect on food quality. Any restaurant or cafe, especially those with famous brands, attract almost all the spheres of the country's economic activities. It implies a lot of jobs, budget payments, new workplaces at suppliers' enterprises, as well as attraction of food producers and construction of new enterprises. Nonetheless, traditional cafes and restaurants still take leading positions on the market. Currently, the number of public catering outlets in Kazakhstan exceeds 35,000. Moreover, this figure annually increases by 15%. For example, only 8 years ago, their number slightly exceeded 7,000. Competition and battle for customers force restaurant owners and marketing experts to think through all the details. from services and kitchen to pricing and interior. The democratic segment continues to grow. It means that market decline leads to the growing democracy segment. Earlier, it was also very important. However, now it is dynamically developing in the midst of the decline of medium and premium segments. In the meantime, specialists say about the increasing number of newly opened thematic outlets. Restaurants of German, Kazakh, Georgian or Chinese cuisines are just some. However, many citizens of Kazakhstan regard such institutions not as places of regular dinners, but as a way to diversify their menus. I think that the reason for that is taste. It is impossible to love a tasteless food. Another reason is, of course, positioning and branding, because all we have associations with German, French and Italian cuisines. Among the most popular middle-class outlets, experts distinguish coffee houses. Statistically, 1/4 of the country's population regularly visits coffee houses. The average bill does not exceed $15. According to experts, one such outlet sells more than 5,000 cups of coffee per month. Coffee houses are for sure places of socialization. There it is possible to spend quite a lot of time at a comparatively low price. For instance, when you order a cup of coffee and open your laptop, you may stay there for 1.5 to 2 hours and pay only for that cup of coffee. The average purchase size in Kazakhstani fast food outlets makes up $5 to $6 per person. Having a snack or a breakfast in a coffee house will cost $10 to $15. For comparison, the price of a dinner in a cafe or restaurant varies from $12 to $50 respectively. The European cuisine is one of the most popular over the globe. French cooks have acquainted the world with salads and soups, and Italian chefs with pizzas, spaghetti and lasagna. Sausages have been invented in Germany. Sandwiches and puddings are an integral part of breakfasts of Britons.
Go ahead and have a salad for you. You're welcome.
For the development of the restaurant business, many European countries create so-called trade corridors or street retails. These are entire streets where restaurants are located one after another. At the same time, most of public catering outlets are oriented towards tourists. In the meantime, for local residents, visiting such institutions is quite expensive. For example, in Germany, the price of a lunch without beverages reaches almost 100 euros. A la carte dishes are cheaper and cost about 20 euros. Exotic ingredients, meat of insects, the play of contrasts in the form of salty, spicy food with sweet and sour sauces, plenty of seafood and specific flavor of Asian dishes have become popular in all parts of the globe. Residents of Asia are known as lovers of national dishes. For example, European or American restaurants in China are very rare. At the same time, sampling traditional delicacies is possible literally in every corner. The number of public catering outlets in the country exceeds 2.5 million. Every year, they bring almost $500 billion of profit to the national budget. Family and street food restaurants are especially popular among local customers. Those who have ever been in China know that it has an absolutely different food culture. In general, China is quite a different world, not only from the point of view of gastronomic preferences, but from the point of view of guests' behavior. Having meals in China costs from $1 to $6, depending on the type of a restaurant. Prices in Korea are also acceptable. A bill for a nourishing lunch usually does not exceed $5 per person. Modest meals can cost even $3. Many people in Japan are not averse to visit catering places. Only in Tokyo, the number of various cafes and restaurants exceeds 150,000. However, the prices are quite different in comparison with neighboring countries. Thus, a good dinner in a Japanese cafe can cost about $30. According to the data of the U.S. National Restaurant Association, an average American family annually spends more than $2,500 on lunches and dinners. In total, restaurant owners earn more than $500 billion per year. The revenue of fast food cafes reaches $150 billion.
I'm not gonna starve. I'm eating fries, I got a Whopper in the car.
Meal delivery services are the most popular in the US. The statistics shows that 30% of local residents cannot cook at all and 25% do not like it. Commonly, the menu of Americans consists of pizza, hamburgers and Asian dishes. The price of such a lunch usually does not exceed $10. The open kitchen format is also gaining traction. It has become a fashion when customers want to see the ingredients and process of cooking. Because of that, in some restaurants, cook prepare individual orders directly in halls. Notably, the average bill there usually does not exceed $15. I think that it should be some fashionable element or a concept of a certain restaurant. It is always a pleasure to see with your own eyes what you will eat, how it is cooked, who cooks it and in what conditions. It builds trust and becomes the key element in our business because we feed people. Consumers have become more demanding not only towards dishes and their ingredients, but also towards the environment. For attracting more visitors, owners of many restaurants pay much attention to the interior. For our country, a good interior has become necessary for ensuring a pleasant atmosphere. People are apt to estimate a way of passing their time according to the following facts: the table they're sitting at, softness of the sofa and how politely the waiter smiles. Therefore, moderate investments into the interior will always be justified. It is widely accepted that the best way of learning customs and traditions of any nation is to try its national cuisine. However, not everyone can like it. For example, horse meat in Asia is very popular. At the same time, a Scottish dish called haggis or stuffed sheep's stomach, as well as frog legs served in French restaurants, can be also characterized as extravagant dishes. International surveys have shown that from 27,000 tourists, 67% prefer traditional European dishes, 47% like Asian and 18% American dishes. In order to save money in a restaurant, it is recommended to choose seasonal dishes. In winter, fruit cocktails or vegetable salads will cost more than in summer or fall. As a rule, dishes prepared from domestic food products are cheaper than those with some exotic ingredients. At dinner time, many restaurants offer special daily menus and business lunches. I always recommend to pay attention to comments in guest books. I also recommend not to focus much on the interior because nowadays a lot of restaurant owners invest much money into the interior but at the same time cut costs on personnel due to lack of money which they already spent on some decorations. Food delivery services are organized especially for those people who like restaurant food but have a busy work schedule. Statistically, 60% of customers of food delivery services are men aged between 25 and 35. The most popular a la carte dishes are sushi, pizza and vegetarian meals. The average price of such services is $15 to $20. How much can you pay for a standard 20 cm diameter pizza? As a rule, its price rarely exceeds $10, but on condition that it has not been prepared by Renato Viola. The well-known Italian cook uses special flour, rare red Australian salt, crawfish caviar, lobster and tuna fish. All that is dressed with cognac and very rare cheese made of milk of domestic buffalo cow. The price of this delicacy is €8,300.